They fought the proposed regulations, that time to change, proposed regulations by the IAAF. Ross Tucker, thank you very much for joining us. Now, Caster's team were asking that the Court of Arbitration for Sport in Switzerland overturn the proposed eligibility rules for middle distance and female runners and the high testosterone. Speaking on the subject sometimes back, you said the IAAF study and evidence, I assume, pertaining to the argument at CAS was not good enough. Well, here we are. The ruling has gone against Caster, and basically, as it stands, the career might as well be over.
Yeah, so I'm disappointed that we couldn't convince the courts of that argument. I thought that we'd done quite a good job when we were in Switzerland of trying to explain why the evidence was so poor, and we didn't feel that you could justify these regulations based on the quality of evidence they provided. And so it's disappointing that they disagreed, because the only way they could arrive at the decision that they arrived at today is to have weighted that evidence very slowly in comparison with the theoretical arguments. So I think they were swayed by the concepts and the theories, and they appear to have overlooked or at least diminished the importance of that evidence. As for whether it means her career is over, she has a couple of options, and I hope that she can figure out how to take them in order to extend her career. But I think after a decade of this, you also would be quite sympathetic if she decided that it wasn't worth the trouble. And so I don't know what her next steps will be, but it's just a sad day for her. And also, I must just say, it's sad and disappointing for every other athlete with the same conditions, because here in South Africa, she's obviously the one we know about, but there are others, and every single one of them is affected today.
I mean, the mind-boggling part about this, Ross, is that even with the CAS's ruling, they are still not sure. I mean, they spoke about the IAAF not going foolhardy with, implementing this, I think, in the 1,500 meter to the mile event. So what should one read into this? Is there still a loophole that one can say we can take and fight this even further? Is there a legal battle that still remains with regards to this? Because it's open to interpretation as far as my understanding or initial understanding of the ruling or the outcome anyway.
Yes, and just to be transparent, I haven't read the full decision yet. I've received it now, and I plan to do that, but I haven't read the full decision. So I'm working off the press release and the summary that we've all seen. And that's really odd, because at times they're extremely strong in their opinions, and it looks as though they've really made their minds up. And then at other times they seem to leave these little gaps and openings. And one of them that you've just picked up on is the 1,500 meters. I don't think the IAAF are going to follow that suggestion and take that event off. And so I think if Semenya wants to compete without lowering her testosterone, she'll have to go up even more to the 3,000 and the 5,000. The other area that they've left loopholes is on the issue of medical risks and side effects. And so it's possible that something comes up that allows her to go back to it. That is a legal question that I don't feel I'm qualified. Well, I know I'm not qualified to speculate as to how one now challenges this decision. She has options if she chooses to go with them, but I don't know whether those involve the science, whether they involve the evidence, whether they involve human rights. That remains to be seen.
In your understanding, Ross, when is this, or when should we expect the implementation of this ruling or of the proposed suggestions or changes to the testosterone levels by the IAAF? When should we expect this to come? Because we know that there's World Championships down the line, Doha, coming up. We've seen Caster just a couple of days ago in the SA Nationals partaking in the 1,500 meters as well as the 5,000 meter. Do you think at the back of her mind she had an idea to say, look, if I'm stopped here, maybe I can still go to the World Champs and participate, as you said, the 3 and 5 possibly?
Yeah, so the decision comes into effect immediately. And so by next week this time, any athlete with any of these conditions has to have shown that they are now in the process of lowering their testosterone levels. If they don't do that, then they would not be eligible to compete in the 400 to 800. And I think the 15, although at this point that may change, or as I said, I doubt it. But basically right away. And so her participation at the 5,000 now looks, in hindsight, like, in effect, an insurance policy in case this decision went this way. And it remains to be seen how successful she'll be at the 5,000. She was undoubtedly the most dominant 800-meter runner we've seen in 50 years.
Yeah.
Whether she can achieve that in the 5,000 meters is unknown. It would be, physiologically speaking, it would be a surprise because the 800 and the 5,000 are quite different events physically. But she's going to be a good 5,000 meter runner. If she goes that way, time will tell whether she can be a great one.
Yeah, world-renowned South African sports scientist Ross Tucker speaking to us on the line. Thanking you for joining us. Just recapping some of the reaction and as far as Caster Semenya and the findings by the Court of Arbitration for Sports that, well, dismissing basically appeal to have the IAAF overturn or change the regulations as far as testosterone levels are concerned. Stay with us on SABC News channel. When you come back, just after 8 o'clock, you've got the two ladies with more news for you.